Joining us now, the New York Times' Jonathan Martin and Alex Burns. They have obtained never before heard audio of House Republican Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy right after the insurrection. They also have this new book coming out on May 3rd that's already made quite a lot of noise, titled "This Will Not Pass: Trump, Biden, and the Battle for America's Future." Thanks for sharing first on the lead. Let's start by playing the audio.
The other thing I want to bring up, and I'm making some phone calls to some members. I just got something sent now about Newsmax, something Matt Gaetz said, where he's calling people's names out, saying an anti-Trump in this type of atmosphere. And some of the other places, this is serious stuff people are doing that has to stop. I'll make individual phone calls.
I think Mo and Louis' comments too. A lot of members have said some real concerning things about.
Did they say something today too?
Not that Louis was at. Mo was at the rally. You know, we're kicking ass and taking names thing at the Trump rally.
So these are things before they kick that ass. I think this is
okay. What did Gaetz say?
Gaetz brought up Liz specifically. I just saw that on Twitter.
And Adam, someone just sent it. Gonzalez just sent it to me, so I'm calling Gaetz. I'm explaining to him. I don't have anything much to say, but I'm going to have some other people call him too. But the nature of if I'm getting briefing, I'm going to get another one from the FBI tomorrow. This is serious shit to cut this out.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's potentially illegal what he's doing.
Well, he's putting people in jeopardy, and he doesn't need to be doing this. We saw what people would do in the Capitol, and these people came prepared with rope, with everything else.
Man. So, Alex, let me start with you. What tell us the backstory here.
Well, the backstory, Jake, is that this is another piece of the phone call that Kevin McCarthy held with several members of the House Republican leadership team. And you heard also the voices there of a number of staff members 4 days after the January 6th insurrection. And they're talking through the behavior of some of the members of the Republican conference. You heard him talk about Matt Gaetz by name. And what we report in our book is that in this period, Kevin McCarthy and other Republican leaders were pretty clear-eyed, at least in private, about the very serious security threat that they saw coming from the far right of the House Republican Conference, the naming and attacking of anti-Trump Republicans like Liz Cheney, like Adam Kinzinger, some of the continuing very overheated rhetoric claiming falsely that the 2020 election was stolen, and other offensive comments looking back at those that rally on the ellipse on January 6th, and then comments on Twitter and television since then, where Kevin McCarthy makes no bones about it. He thinks that this is putting people in jeopardy.
Yeah, he doesn't say that publicly. Publicly, he's very submissive to the far right of his party. Jonathan, I want to play another moment where McCarthy is expressing concern. Let's roll that tape.
The other thing that we have to do is these members on either whatever position you are, calling out other members, that stuff's got to stop, especially in this nature. So when I get up right here, I'm going to call Gaetz. But anything else we see, don't assume I see everything. Don't assume I know everything. But we got to have one central point. So, I mean, if you can bring this stuff to Dan Lugansky, so you can have it. But, I mean, don't sit back around. It's going to be for you guys personally. Tension is too high. The country is too crazy. I do not want to look back and think we caused something or we missed something and someone got hurt. I don't want to play politics with any of that.
So this was January 10th, just a few days after the Capitol riot. Explain what's happening here.
So this is Kevin McCarthy, clearly sobered about what happened on January 6th and also deeply concerned about the possibility of a repeat. Seeing his far-right members say incendiary things online and on the air, and really concerned that that's going to cause more bloodshed, more political violence in America. These are extraordinary days, this period in history. And what you hear there in that moment is Kevin McCarthy vowing to crack down on Matt Gaetz. He's telling his fellow GOP leaders, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to Matt Gaetz. We have to cut this S out. He said shit out. Cut the shit out. You heard there on the audio. Of course, 15 months later, Jake, what's happened is that Kevin McCarthy at every turn has acquiesced to people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz because President Trump will not tolerate any criticism of those members because they're his closest allies. So McCarthy largely has to keep quiet when it comes to their conduct and their incendiary behavior, which continues to this day.